Hey everyone, I'm Pastor Drew, and this is my Friday message. This week as we gather at Redeemer, we continue in the Easter story, where we find two disciples sometime during the day on Easter Sunday, traveling to a small village called Emmaus. It's about 7 miles distance from Jerusalem, where the events of Jesus' crucifixion had happened just days before. And as they're traveling, they come upon this stranger who's on the road, and apparently he's kind, and he begins to ask them what they're talking about. And the two disciples of Jesus say, well, have you not been around Jerusalem? Don't you know about the uproar of things that have happened here in the last couple days? And they start to talk about Jesus' crucifixion on Good Friday. And the traveler continues to ask them some questions. And then they start to say, we wish that this Jesus of Nazareth, that he was truly going to be the Redeemer for Israel. And then that traveler looks at them and he says, how foolish you are, and how slow you are to believe what the prophets have spoken. Did not the Messiah, did not the Christ first have to suffer before he entered his glory? And then it says, starting with Moses and going through all the prophets, this traveler, who later becomes to be known as Jesus, reveals to them all of the scripture that points to him and his suffering on the cross and his resurrection from the tomb on Sunday morning. It's a beautiful story. This is the moment in the story of Luke's gospel where it begins to fire in the minds of his disciples that all this stuff that they've experienced with Jesus, all the things they've experienced, all the things they've read growing up as children and studying the Old Testament, it's all coming together in Jesus. And so as we gather this weekend, we're going to see how the prophets and how Moses and how the disciples who were gathered with him, how all of that points to Jesus, and how we get an amazing perspective on this side of the cross and the empty tomb to look back and see that Jesus truly is who he says he was, that he is the Lord, the one who's come, he's the Messiah, the Christ. We hope you can gather with us this Sunday. We gather at 8 o'clock for our traditional service and at 9 o'clock for our growth hour in Sunday school, at 10 o'clock for contemporary service. Also this Sunday, we have a candidate for our youth and family position who's in town interviewing. And so we're going to have a time from 11 to 11:30 in the room just across from the lobby, right off the worship center here, to gather and meet Lindsay Oling, who's here from Redeemer in Fort Collins, Colorado. She's interviewing for the job, and we hope you can come and join, hear a bit about her, and get to know her as she's learning about Redeemer. Again, we hope you have a great weekend, and if you can't be with us, we're on demand and we're live at 10 o'clock streaming then. Have a great weekend, everyone. God bless.